Yo nigga about that paper.
Ringo TV.
Yo nigga about that paper. Yo nigga about that paper. Yo nigga about that paper. Yeah. True man, I'm free. I wake up a new episode. I pop out clean and skip up a level though. She talk to me like I'm not me. I get it though. Yeah. I'm so eclectic, on me to the credits roll. Talk down to me, they might have to send medical. I'm out the league, I'm OD, they pathetic though. Look how I move, I'm protected. Shawty so soon in my presence. The world going through it outside, they unruly, but I keep it cool, they can't press me. I keep it pure with intention. They see what I'm on, ain't no vixen. I might like do it that top down. I keep it tuned with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga, look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid, I don't see a thing. Yo nigga about that paper. 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 Hop on that jet, had to switch to the coast. One of a kind, I've been playing that role. They pay me, I needed it for. It's real if I said I meant what I spoke. I'm legend, it's written, I shake up the city. Spin block till I'm dizzy, won't ever go broke. I'm chose, I must like do it at top down. I keep in tune with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga, look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid, I don't see a thing. Yo nigga about that paper. 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 Put it on me, I'm blessed. Big bag, but I feel the sky, no stress. Can't ground me, I know this since when I had less. Look at how far we progress. Fluid, I don't see a threat.
Welcome to the stream, Ringo TV reactions. Back again with another one. Make sure you hit that like button by double tapping the screen. You know, America is in a very, very bad place where everyone, it's like this hate just keep going on and on. Don Lemon pretty much went to the streets to express his hate. And I'm trying to figure this out. Because I don't make content about the LGBTQ community. I don't make content about gay men. I don't even do that type of content. I look at it like, if you want to dabble in that world, that's your personal business, as long as you don't bring that mess around me. But Don Lemon decides to go through the streets and mock and laugh and try to get everybody to agree that Charlie Kirk is a bad guy. And if the shoe was on the other foot and somebody was walking around the streets with cameras saying, Don Lemon is a bad guy because of his sexuality, they would be canceled, lose their job, ridiculed and bashed all over social media for hate speech. But it's perfectly okay for Don Lemon and pastors, as you can see right there, Pastor Howard Wesley, to bash the dead. He wasn't doing that while Kurt was alive. He wasn't doing that. None of these people that are coming out of the woodworks to bash Charlie Kirk now that he's dead, they weren't doing that when he was alive. All the podcasters, all of the church leaders, everybody's coming out of the woodworks. Well, we're going to talk about this particular video. Greetings to everyone. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. Welcome to the stream, Ringo TV Reactions. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Double tap the screen to give it a like. Welcome to the show. Got a lot to cover. We're going to be reacting to this video from PBD Podcast in regards to Don Lemon defends celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And I want to hear what these guys got to say. We talked about this a couple of times. I think about probably 3 or 4 times we talked about this issue. But let's get into the tapes, guys. Again, I hope you're having a blessed day. Thanks for tuning in. I'm very grateful. Let's go to the tapes, tail to the tape. And let's react to this thing here and see what's going on, guys. Let's find out what's happening.
Talking about embarrassing. So imagine if you're in the streets, going and talking to people, hoping they say bad things about Charlie Kirk and Trump, and then this is what happens. Go ahead, Rob.
Kirk.
It's just messed up, totally messed up. You know that was messed up. Like, nobody deserved that. He definitely didn't deserve that. He was a good guy.
You think he was a good guy?
I think he was.
Scumbag.
The only Kirk
Good morals.
Captain Kirk.
The what?
The only Kirk you recognize is Captain Kirk. I don't know Charlie Kirk. I don't know who
You
that
don't
is.
know who it is?
I don't know who that is.
I know who it was.
That joke fell flat.
I
I only know about him when
all of us have flaws. I can't really tell you what to believe in or how to feel. Like, everybody's having a human experience. Like, why knock him for having this human experience or what he believe in?
Even though even though he says things that are anti-women, black.
Look at this.
I
Liar.
can't judge him for that.
You can't.
I can't judge him for
Look
that.
at-
But I
come
can
on.
use judgment. He didn't deserve that.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a human being.
Yeah, he's
You
a
are
human
very
being.
spiritual.
You know,
Yeah, and you're not.
No, you
I can't
sound
go
like,
left.
Yeah, and you're
I can't
not.
go left with that.
No, you sound like you mean left, going
Yeah,
left,
like,
not left.
because I'm
right.
humanity.
Yeah.
I'm humanity and love first.
No, I love that. So the first person I spoke to here didn't want to be on camera, and he said, "I can't judge him because I'm not God." And so let him, let
Isn't that a little bit
whatever
too
the
much
reaction
touching?
is if the
Oh,
government
he's a
wants to give
very
him a
touchy
state
guy.
license.
Stop that, Rob. Can you go
Wasn't
to
he
the
the
next?
weatherman on CNN or something? I don't recognize him. I
Can
don't
you
remember this
go
guy.
to the other clip that the pastor he retweeted? So here's a pastor that
We're going to get to that pastor in a minute. Let's just talk about this for a minute, guys. Let's rewind back this tape. Don Lemon is in the streets, basically lying to people, saying that Charlie Kirk was anti-black woman, anti-black man. Those are lies. Don Lemon is a guy that would be very offended if somebody was bashing his sexuality. Now, think about this, guys. Imagine if I took it to the streets with a microphone and I'm walking around the streets and I'm like, well, Don Lemon is a bad guy because of his sexuality. Do you really think I'm going to get the red carpet rolled out for me in society? They're going to say that I'm bashing, that I am homophobic, that I am a hater, a hateful person, that I need to be canceled. And if don't let me work for a particular company, oh, they will definitely contact that company to get me fired. But it's okay for Don Lemon to do this. How come Don Lemon ain't asking the sister, what about that guy up there, the killer? What do you think about the killer of Charlie Kirk? He's more concerned to see how many black people he can get to agree with him, not white people. He's literally stopping black people to see if he can make black people as hateful as he is. What is going on in America? Has America become hateful? Very hateful. If you're not on my team, I hate you. If you don't agree with me, I want you dead. If you don't agree with me, I'm unsubscribing. That's the world we live in now, where everybody is just hateful now. Happy someone's dead. But I like how the sister responded to him. She basically was like, look, I don't got nothing to say about that. And he was like, but he talked about black women negatively. And that's a lie. He never did that. It's all a lie. Check it out.
About embarrassing. So imagine if you're in the streets, going and talking to people, hoping they say bad things about Charlie Kirk and Trump, and then this is what happens. Go ahead, Rob.
It backfired.
Kirk.
It's just messed up, totally messed up. You know, that was messed up. Like, nobody deserved that. He definitely didn't deserve that.
He definitely didn't deserve that. So the sister is like, look, he didn't deserve that. Now watch him.
A good guy.
You think he was a good guy?
You think he was a good guy?
He was.
Scumbag.
The only Kirk you
Good
recognize is
morals.
Captain Kirk.
The what?
The only Kirk you recognize is Captain Kirk. I don't know Charlie Kirk. I don't know who
You
that
don't
is.
know who it is?
I don't know who that is.
I know who it was.
That joke fell flat.
I only know about him when
All of us have flaws. I can't really tell you what
To the black community, I have a question for you, right? I have a question for the black community. In the same manner that you guys are responding to Don Lemon, where's that energy when it comes to the gangs in the black community? Where's that energy when it comes to crime and violence happening in the black community every day? Where's that energy? It's like the only time the black community want to come together and be on code is when it involves Charlie Kirk. He's dead. Okay, let's be on code. Let's all hate. Nobody don't know what that man talked about, but everybody's judging. And black folk be the first to say, judge not lest you be judged. Only God can judge. But y'all bashing this man when he dead. The brother clearly don't like Charlie Kirk and probably never even heard none of his messages to even know what's going on. But at least the black women have some sense.
believe in or how to feel. Like, everybody's having a human experience. Like, why knock him for having this human experience or what he believe in?
Even though even though he says things that are anti-women, black.
Look at this.
I can't judge him for that.
Wow. He said something about he said anti-women things, anti-black women. I mean, he's literally trying to cause her to get upset.
I can't judge him for that. But I can use judgment. He didn't deserve that.
It backfired on him. Everything he's trying to do, it backfired on him.
Yeah.
Human being.
Yeah,
you are very spiritual.
You know, yeah.
And you're not.
I can't go left.
Yeah, and you're
I can't
not.
go left with that.
No, you sound like, you mean left, going
Yeah,
left,
like,
not left.
because I'm
right.
humanity. I'm humanity and love first.
No, I love that. So the first person I spoke to here didn't want to be on camera, and he said, I can't judge him because I'm not God. And so let him, let
Isn't that a little
whatever
bit
the
too much
reaction
touching?
is if the
Oh,
government
he's a
wants to give
very
him a
touchy
state
guy.
license.
Stop that, Rob. Can you go sit?
Again, if I got on camera, guys, and walked through the streets and targeted everybody and basically talked about Don Lemon's sexuality, would I be looked upon as a good guy? If I was bashing him because of his sexuality? I don't even make videos about that stuff. And I'm a Bible believer. I already know what the Bible says about that lifestyle. That's why I don't waste my time talking about it. I don't got no time to waste. I'm not going to do all of that stuff. God is going to judge who he's going to judge. I'm not going to sit here and keep going at somebody because that's the lifestyle they want to live. I don't support your lifestyle. But at the same time, if I don't support your lifestyle, I'm not going to sit on camera and continue to bash you if that's what you want to do. I don't care. Go do what you want to do. But now, if I was on camera saying that Don Lemon is a bad guy because of what he's doing, people would say I need to be canceled. They would say I'm a horrible person. So why is it okay for Don Lemon to mock Charlie Kirk that he's dead? and try to get other people to be on board with the hate? What if people were doing that towards him because of his sexuality? Y'all can't see the point? Why is it okay to spread hate for a man that had opinions? And see, I know a lot of people that's from the LGBTQ community probably was pissed off with Charlie Kirk. And the issue is, you being pissed off with him only mean that there's something that he was saying that had to be true. If I know I'm taking care of my kids and a black woman come online and be like, all black men are deadbeat dads. They don't take care of their kids. They're sorry. They don't work. I'm not offended. I don't care. It's not bothering me. Because I take care of my kids. I provide for them. I'm good. The man who gets upset and come on camera, well, I don't know what she's talking about. I take care of my kids. That's not right. You know what I'm saying? She disrespecting us black men. You know, he don't take care of his kids. He's letting the world know he don't take care of his kids because he's angry, he's upset, and he's bitter, and he's lashing out. So when Charlie Kirk talked about different topics and different issues, the ones who got upset and started to get angry, name call, throw chairs, whatever they wanted to do, it's because his words was really getting under their skin, not because he was racist or he was bashing somebody or putting somebody down. He was speaking to them and it was making sense. And they didn't like that.
He the weatherman on CNN or something? I don't recognize him.
Can you go to the other clip that the pastor he retweeted? So here's a pastor that Don Lemon retweeted this pastor. I don't know who this pastor is, by the way. What's his name? Pastor Howard John Wesley, defaming Charlie Kirk.
In
Go ahead,
church.
Rob.
Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be assassinated. But I'm overwhelmed seeing the flags of the United States of America at half-staff.
They were for 9/11,
calling
dummy.
this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist and spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land.
Now think about this, guys. If this is a church you wanted to go to, and let's say, for example, hypothetically speaking, you're a racist. Let's say, for example, you're a white man, you're a racist. Now follow me for a minute. Let's just say, for example, you're a white man and you're racist. You don't like black people. And one day you just wake up and you say, you know what? This is not me. I don't want to be like this no more. Let me go to church. And you walk into this pastor's church and you hear him talking like that. You hear him bashing Charlie Kirk. No love, no forgiveness. Follow me. You're a white man. You're a racist. You have a lot of issues against black people. You decide one day you don't want to be that guy no more. You walk into his church and you overhear him talking like this. I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If I was a white man and I was a racist and I wanted to change my ways and I walked into a church and saw a black pastor talking like that, I would go back to be a fucking racist. Because I would say, this is fucking pathetic. This is supposed to be a church. Here I am deciding to change my life and make things right. And I just realized that as I walk into the church to find God, God is not in the damn church. That confuses people. That right there will confuse anybody and make people question God, because how is it that he's bashing Kurt? Kurt was not no racist or white supremacist. But my point is very simple. What that pastor is saying is that there is no forgiveness and that the church don't love. anyone who they deem a racist, which means a racist, according to that church, cannot even be in the church. There's no place in the church for them. But I thought Jesus came to heal the sick. I thought Jesus came to open blind eyes. So why is that pastor so hateful and evil? Where's the love and the empathy and the compassion? Where's the fruits of the Spirit? This is why a lot of men decided to not go to church no more. And we're talking about black men, white men. They just don't go to church no more. Because we understand that these pastors are nothing but hustlers. All of them. This is evil. Think about what I just said, guys. You have a white guy from the South. He's been a racist his whole life. He had an encounter where he crashed his car. A black man came, broke the window, pulled him out of the car. And he's like, damn, a black man just pulled me from a burning car. He goes to the hospital. The black guy is by his side. He's like, I can't believe this. I hated black people my whole life, and a black man just saved my life. He decides to go to church. He walks in the church because he figured, hey, I'm going to give my life to Christ. I'm tired of being a racist. And you come into the church and you hear this.
Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be assassinated. But I'm overwhelmed seeing the flags of the United States of America at half-staff.
They were for 9/11,
calling
Bummy.
this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist and spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land.
This is in church, mind you.
Now think, guys. The racist guy just walked into church. After crashing his car, a black man saved his life. And he's hearing that sermon. That's his first time entering a church. He never been to church in his life. What do you think he's going to do? Stay in church? It's not going to stay in church. And you want me to tell you something else, guys? You want to hear something powerful? This is why a lot of white folk don't go to the black church. This is why a lot of white folk don't feel comfortable going to a black church. They would rather go to a white church because entering into these particular houses, they're met with stuff like this. And a lot of them experience this. And they just turned back, walked out the door. Let a racist guy come into a church trying to change his life and he hear this. He's going to go right back to his ways. He's going to be like, F black people. I cannot stand them. I seen it firsthand. He gonna be like, I went to a church to give my life to Christ, and I saw a black pastor bashing racists. Not showing love, not saying Jesus will accept you and forgive you of your sins. No, you're condemned. And yet all the black folk in the church was clapping and cheering on, which means they're in agreement and they're happy that Charlie Kirk is dead. Let me shout out these super chats. Shout out to Anything Is Possible for the $9.99. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. Says, great hat, Ringo. Shout out to Exandra in the building for the $10 support. Says, blessings to you, Ringo. Appreciate the support at Exandra. Appreciate the support. Let's get back to the content. Guys, if you can be so kind, double tap the screen to give it a like. We really appreciate you. And also consider subscribing if you like or enjoy the content. Let's get back to this. Let's go.
Come on.
Look at the applause.
You're better than this.
And hearing people with selective rage who were mad about Charlie Kirk but didn't give a damn about Melissa Hortman and her husband when they were shot down in their home. home.
Nobody knows who those people are, buddy.
Tell me I ought to have compassion for the death of a man who had no respect for my own life.
Now, notice what he said, that Charlie Kirk didn't have no respect for his own life. Charlie Kirk never did nothing to this pastor for him to even be doing this in church. This should never be in church, in the pulpit. So what this pastor, well, you're right, at Diane, appreciate you for the $1.99. You said he's not a pastor, he's a false prophet. That's exactly what it is. Yep. He's not a pastor, he's a false prophet. Shout out to Diane. Because when you see a pastor doing that in the pulpit, what it says is this is what God thinks. And this is why you cannot put your trust in man. You have to have a personal relationship with God for yourself, between you and him. A lot of you don't even have to go to church. You don't. It's between you and God. Sometimes you got to talk with God by yourself when nobody's looking and nobody's around and you're going through your own troubles. You got your own anxieties, your own issues. You and God have to have that conversation. Find that quiet time and just make it between you and him. You study a Bible, you study it by yourself. Because when you go to these particular churches, this is what you're going to be faced with. Judgment, putting you down, other congregants laughing at you, looking at what you wearing, looking at what kind of car you driving, judging you. You know, especially if you go to one of those prosperity churches, they're good for that. They love to judge what kind of car you drive, why you driving a raggedy car. My God blessed me with a Mercedes-Benz, and everything is about materials now. That's why back in the day in 2005, 2006, I left the Christian church. I totally left the church, guys. Left the church. I believe in the Bible. I follow the Messiah, Jesus Christ. I follow the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But I'm not a part of no religious church. I refuse to go back to that mess. I've seen too much nightmares, demonic evil, pulpit pimps, literally taking all the people's money, lying, twisting scriptures. If you are viewing right now, never tithe again to a local church. Never give 10% of your money to no church. It is a lie. It is not in the Bible. Nowhere in the Bible did it teach you to give 10% of your money to a pastor. They will literally twist Bible verses and tell you, bring ye all the tithes to the storehouse that I may have meat in my house. It didn't say money, it says meat, food. And it's talking about that's for the Levite priests. There are no Levite priests today. That was in that time because the Levites didn't have no inheritance. What these pastors done is they take that Old Testament scriptures and they try to get rich off of it. You know? And they told you bring your money instead. A bunch of liars.
You can pause it.
That question, do you think God is happy that you're doing this, or
Nope.
the devil is happy that you're in church and having an applause break for people that are basically like, well, it is what, like, let's not sugarcoat it. They're clapping and they're like, yeah, he's right. Who cares that he's dead? And by the way, the flag was half mast because it was September 11th.
Right.
Reverend, Father, whatever you're calling yourself. What a disgusting display from Don Lamont to him.
From the pulpit.
From the pulpit, and they're celebrating.
Yeah.
And I think you guys need to understand this, especially those of you from the black community. What you got to understand is when black pastors do what you see in these videos, because Jamal Bryant did the same thing. We showed you a video of that particular clip where Jamal Bryant was bashing Charlie Kirk from the pulpit. We have Howard Wesley, and there's other pastors, guys. I'm gonna put those pastors on blast too. I got to get all the material. It's a lot of stuff that I got to talk about, guys. And it's primarily coming from black pastors. Black pastors are bashing Charlie in the pulpit. Totally disgusting. And when this is coming from the black church, I need for the black community to understand something. All other communities are watching. They're watching how black folk conduct themselves in church, and it's not making you look good. It's not making you look good. And now you got Don Lemon, a man who been criticized for various things, who know better. who knows better, decides to go to the streets to literally try to recruit black people to hate Charlie Kirk.
A racist and a... Oh,
and then you
man.
just posted something right now from Colin Rugg about Don Lemon not happy about the fact that people on the conservative side. Rob, can you...
Yeah,
can you
I put it in the chat.
It's in the chat.
Don Lemon, he fumes that the right is being mean and irrational to liberals who are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. He says, calling Kirk hurtful, discriminatory, and ignorant. This is...
You know what's worse than hurtful? Dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
My feelings are hurt. The guy's dead.
Yeah, period. In front of his family.
Go ahead, Rob.
It's a longer clip, but...
People literally saying that their feelings are hurt and the man is dead. My feelings are hurt, but he's dead. You weren't crying before when he was alive. It's like now that he's dead, everybody want to come out of the woodworks and start to cry. Everybody want to post little snippets. Just the other day, I did a video and I showed the world that Bernice King, the daughter of Martin Luther King Jr., was posting hate against Charlie. That's right. Twice. And I'm pretty sure she made more posts. People got upset with me. Ringo, how could you do that? That's Martin Luther King's daughter. I don't care who she is. Right is right, wrong is wrong. She accused that man of being a racist off of a clip that was taken out of context. And I am tired of everybody taking clips out of context. I've had this done to me, where people take short little clips of things that I have said, and they'll edit things together, twist narratives, and make me look like I'm crazy. They don't even go find the source video and hear the facts for themselves. They just make stuff up for content.
You know, this is sort of a two different universes, two different worlds that we live in here in America. And I'm generalizing because there are some folks, you know, there's some in every bunch. There's some who are black folks who are like, yeah, you know, I loved him or whatever. Okay, fine.
And let me also put this out there for people that don't know the history on Bernice King. Bernice King used to be a member of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. The same church where Bishop Eddie Long was sleeping with them boys in the church. Bishop Eddie Long was having sex with those boys in the church, and that pastor was the same pastor that used to bash the gay community every chance he get. Not only him, Bernice King used to bash the gay community every chance she got. Her and Eddie Long used to do this back in the day. And when the allegations came that the bishop was sleeping with them 4 young men in the church, buying them luxury cars, buying them gifts, clothings, all of that other stuff, she stepped down from the church and distanced herself from Bishop Eddie Long. I know this because back then I used to expose Eddie Long when this case was going on. I'm the one that exposed Eddie Long before anybody on the internet. I was on the case way back then. You know what I mean? Let me give you a receipt. Let me just show you one receipt. Let me see if I can find this real fast, just for the court of public opinion, so you guys can know the history. Because a lot of my videos I took down over the years, guys. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see. Let me find one of my old channels. Ringo News. Let's see. Ringo News. What was my old channel name? Archive. Ringo News Archive. I think that was the name of the channel. Let me see. Yep. That's the name of the channel. Okay. Let me go here. Hold on. Go to videos. I made this channel back in and it's not just this channel. I had many more channels that I was exposing Bishop Eddie Long. But I'm just trying to show you some receipts so that you guys can pretty much be up on speed. This is a long time ago, but let's type in Eddie Long so I can get these receipts for the court so that you can know the history. Eddie Long. I'm wanting you to know this because Bernice was a part of a prosperity church that believed in taking money from the poor. So just because she's Martin Luther King's daughter don't mean nothing. Now, I said some things in my recent videos that people didn't like. I told them about my thoughts on Martin Luther King. They got upset. I know the history. You just don't. You know what I mean? And like father, like daughter. His daughter was a part of a prosperity church getting paid. And they got paid bashing the gay community. And then once Bernice found out that Eddie Long was sleeping with boys, she was offended. And she stepped down from the church. Now, let me see if I can pull this up. Right? These are just some receipts I want to show you. Okay, let me take a screenshot of this. Right? And this will show you how many years ago these topics were online. I'm trying to just go into this real quick because I used to expose this guy all the time, guys. All the time. Okay, so now let me put this on the screen. And in the meantime, between time, be sure to double tap the screen, guys, to give it a thumbs up. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Be sure to subscribe if you like the content. So now, let's put this on the screen so that you can see what was going on. Shout out to Keyman Prosper for the membership. And let's see who else we got. Shout out to Jacoby for the $5 support. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. Says black student was hung in Mississippi and retaliation for Charlie Kirk. Your thoughts? We already covered that story already, Jacoby. That was not a retaliation for Charlie Kirk. You most likely heard that from another YouTuber online and he brainwashed you. Don't let influencers brainwash you. That young man took his own life. Do you understand? That particular YouTuber made a video yesterday suggesting that Erica Kurt put out the memo for people in Mississippi to unalive black students at colleges. It's a total lie. So wherever you heard that from, that's clickbait from a black racist YouTuber. I'm in these YouTube streets. I know about all the lies that are being published. Right? So we already talked about that particular video. Check it out on the platform. Shout out to Robert Rodriguez for the support. Appreciate you sponsoring the show for the $5 support. Polar Bear Productions, shout out to you for the $1.99. The left loves race baiting. Oh, shout out to Jacoby also again. I didn't see that super chat. My bad. Got to shout out all these super chats, guys. Jacoby says the far right are considering to have a race war for Charlie Kirk. Do you believe that you are going to be spared? Guys, there's not going to be no race wars. You're hearing propaganda garbage from social media, right? We as human beings have to understand something. In order for there to be a race war, which means you would have to be a hateful person. If you're a person that's full of peace, you don't participate in drama and garbage, right? A lot of these people on social media are just trying to get a check, and they'll say anything to get people infuriated and angry. That is what race baiters do. They get people to focus on one side, and they agitate people and get them involved. And then they start to capitalize off of their trauma, their hurt, their emotions, and that's how they make money. You understand? This is how they do it. This is how pastors make money in church. They play on your emotions, play on your feelings, and before you know it, you're committed to these churches, and you just give them all your money. Shout out to Jackie for the $1.99. Says, what did he say that was racist? Honest questions. When you say, what did he say? Are you referring to Charlie? Because Charlie never said anything that was racist. He never said anything that was racist, not to blacks. You know what I'm saying? Rayku, shout out to you for the $20 support. I just barely seen your super chat. Says, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Let me just make sure I got everybody before we continue. Shout out to That Gun Talk for the $1.99. Says, thank you for telling the truth about Charlie. Also, shout out to Keyman Prosper for the 2. Says, salute Ringo. It's more racism in black churches. I know that. That's why I left. Polar Bear Production says Jacoby is lying. I don't necessarily think that he's lying. I think that he's just misinformed. He heard something on social media. Guys, when you're on social media, I get it. You see videos. A lot of times you're interested. You tune in. But a lot of influencers on social media are just that, influencers. They influence people to think negative. They might put fear in you and make you think that something bad is going to happen. You know, you have to be careful with who you listening to. Shout out to The Healing Word. Says, thoughts on Christians, content creators who are told they are not of Christ because they support Charlie. Where is that rage for Charlie being murdered. So hold up. Let me get this straight. People are saying that people are not of Christ if they support Charlie. That don't even make no sense. Jesus Christ said for us to forgive one another, for us to mourn with those that mourn, for us to have compassion one towards another, empathy for one another. These are the words of Jesus Christ. So anyone that is saying that you are not Christ-like for supporting or even speaking some positive words for Charlie or even giving condolences to his family, they're anti-Christ. There's no way around that. Right? Let me see. Shout out to V Dubman in the building. What's going on? V Dubman in the building. Shout out to Sally for the $1.99. Keyman, great teaching. Black pastor, love to use the word tithe, but tell you the law is done away with. Wow. You know what's so interesting? I was going to talk about that, and I just said, let me leave it alone. And I'm glad you brought it up. Black pastors love to tell you, bring ye all the tithes. But if you were to tell them about the commandments of God, they'll say, oh, the commandments are done away with. That don't make no sense. How could the commandments be done away with and you want people to tithe? No, tithing is done away with because that time was an agricultural time, and the tithe only came from farmers, landowners, and herdsmen. And it was because the so-called Levites didn't have no inheritance. Everybody, all the common folk were not given 10% of anything. It only came from landowners, owners, farmers, and herdsmen. People that had plenty. You understand? And it was in the form of food, not money. Right? Shout out to Joshua for the for the $50 support. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. Appreciate you, Ringo. I knew none of this ish about Bernice King. Oh, you didn't know that? You didn't know this about Bernice King? Look, I got videos that I've done about Bernice King back in the days. I may upload those videos. I exposed her a lot, and people got upset with me because she's a black woman, daughter of, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It is what it is. I have my opinions. I don't care how people think about it, but she was not a good person, and she was racist or hateful towards Charlie Kirk. I showed you guys the post. I don't want to bring it up again. Please consider watching the live stream that I did yesterday about the situation, right? You said, I appreciate you, Ringo. I didn't know none of this ish about Bernice King. And for so long, we've been taught lies about Martin Luther King. That's right. Listen, guys, if I do a whole series on Martin Luther King, the black community going to hate me. They're going to hate me. They already hate Charlie Kirk. They have words going around that Charlie Kirk said this about Martin Luther King, and they saying that Charlie's a racist. There's some things about Martin Luther King that I know about that if I talk about, people gonna get mad at me. They're gonna get mad, and it's the truth, Just like these pastors you see today that are just hustling the people. Man, I'll get into that in another video. I don't want to change up the topic. But you said, but you be on it. Thanks for your content. Hey, appreciate you sponsoring the show. Okay, guys, so let's get back into this thing. Shout out to Non-Compliance for the membership. All right. So, I think I was showing you guys the receipt, right? I think I was showing you guys the receipt that I was talking about Eddie Long, right? So now, here on the screen is a receipt, right? This is from an old channel that I'm not even active on this channel anymore. But notice this, Ringo News Archive. Eddie Long accusers break their silence. Bishop Eddie Long to take time off after divorce filing. His wife filed divorce against him, guys. These are just the thumbnails. This is from, look at the years, guys. 14 years ago, 13 years ago, 13 years ago, 13 years ago, 13 years ago. Guys, and this is nothing. I have hundreds of videos about Eddie Long of me literally exposing what he was doing in the church, sleeping with young men. And he got exposed. This particular guy right here, in the middle, that guy, he wasn't even involved in the beginning of the scandal. He came in later and they settled. Eddie Long settled out of court and gave this young man a bunch of money to stay quiet, guys. And then you all know the end of the story. Eddie Long ended up passing away mysteriously. He withered away, got very, very skinny, and he was judged by God. He was judged. And Bernice King was a part of the church. I just need for you guys to know that. So, hey, let's get back to the content. Double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up, guys. Be sure to subscribe. Let's go.
There are few and far between. Let's just be honest. And so for the most part, people don't understand, like, what is this, all of this flags that have staff for?
9/11, idiot.
Most people had no idea who Charlie Kirk was.
Most people, what a liar.
You know that, right? I meet a lot of people out there and you see my lives. They're like, I didn't really know him. I just heard about him when this happened, because it was mostly for like younger people who are really politically activated, like college people who are, just wanted to, college people like to fight on campus.
Misrepresentation.
And when I went to school at LSU, we had something very similar, and it was called Free Speech Alley. I think Free Speech Alley is still there, where you could go to Free Speech Alley and you could say whatever you want. The thing is that you could then, and you would not get suspended or expelled or, disciplined for saying some shit. People just said whatever it is that they wanted at Free Speech Alley. Much of it was offensive, but I kind of liked Free Speech Alley.
Why is this individual in here asking, I'm a little confused if you support gays or not? What are you here asking me if I'm in support of this or not? Are you gay? Answer that question. At Confederate Mike, are you gay? Answer the question. Where you at? Nowhere to be found, right? Let's get back to the content. Let's go.
But that's not the America that we're living in right now. We live in an America of cancel culture, and it is the cancel culture on the right now.
What? Oh, what the hell's he talking about?
That is leading the charge.
Dude, look at the
and the hypocrisy. I've been writing something about this. The hypocrisy on the right about free speech is, it's off the charts. Because think about it. If you actually believed in what Charlie Kirk said he believed in, didn't quite practice all the time, is free speech, then why are you out to cancel people who are using their First Amendment right of free speech to tell you how they feel about Charlie Kirk by using his own words?
But see, if people told you, Don Lemon, how they feel about gays, you would want them to be canceled. Did you see that? See, I remember when I was at the 9 to 5, guys, when I was working for that agency, right? We had one gay guy that was working there. Pretty cool guy, you know what I'm saying? There was never no issues. We all followed company policy. We were not into none of that name calling and all that foolishness. We never did nothing that was, out of the ordinary to this particular worker. But when this particular new hire came into the company, they had this big meeting, passing out flyers, and they had all these new rules. And I'm like, wow, what the heck is going on here? And it's all because this new guy came in and he's gay. Like I said, cool guy, no issue, team player, everything was cool. What was interesting about this meeting is they were laying all these new rules on us because of one worker. You know what ended up happening? The guy who's gay, he lifted up his hand like this. He said, could I talk for a bit? And the supervisors and everybody was like, sure. And he said, look, I just came here to have a job. I didn't come here to change the whole job and have everybody all feeling some type of way. I'm new. I get it. I don't want nobody to change up because they were like, we can't joke about this. We can't do this. He basically said, look, I don't care what they do. You know what I'm saying? And when he did that, I was shocked. Because you would have thought that he would have been like, yes, y'all got to follow this and y'all got to follow that. Once he did all of that, meeting was over. Supervisor was like, I guess I don't have to do anything. We never had no issues. That particular worker, even though he was gay, Never had a complaint with none of us. Nobody never made fun of him. Nobody never made no jokes. Nobody never did nothing. We treated him like we treated everybody else, because at that place we were all family. We didn't need no rules to keep us in check. And I appreciated the fact that he did that for everybody. But now when I'm looking at Don Lemon, he should know better. Because if people did this to him based on his sexuality, he would want them to be canceled. You see what I mean? Literally, he would want them to be canceled. He would call it hate speech. And what's so crazy is, even when we was at the job with the gay dude that was there working with us, we crack jokes. We crack jokes like we would do with anybody. Sometimes we'll have gay jokes. We'll have the pause game. Anybody that's from New York, you know about the pause game. Anytime you say anything questionable, pause. Hey, yo, pause. Y'all already done know how that go, right? And he never had no issue. He just wanted to be normal like everybody else, and that's how we treated him. There was never no issues, never no offense. But before when he came in, there was so much rules they were throwing at us. I was like, bro, they had this one rule. I couldn't believe this. They was like, yo, if he feel today he want to go into the woman's bathroom, he could go into the woman's bathroom. So I was like, hey, could I go into the woman's bathroom? Because, you know, they had some fine sisters at the job. So I wanted to know, maybe today I might feel like I'm in my feminine energy, I could go into the woman's bathroom and watch them change. Supervisor said, no, not you. I was like, but that's discrimination. How come he get to go and I can't? How come he get to go and I can't? You know what I'm saying? He was like, look, I'm going to be in the men's bathroom. It is what it is. And when he said, I ain't going to hold you. When the dude said, nah, I would rather be in the men's bathroom, one of the guys was like, hey, yo. And then everybody bust out laughing. And it wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing about no gay bashing or none of that stuff. It was just New York flavor. And everybody was cool. So to see Don Lemon bashing Charlie Kirk and recruiting people to hate, it's disgusting, man. It's not cool. It's not cool at all.
Can I say one thing, Pat? Do you guys understand something? Don Lemon, all these leftists, when Elon Musk says they're the party of murder, this guy is one of the lefties, and he could just walk around in the streets. Nobody does anything to him.
Right.
Nobody's killing him. Nobody's saying anything. He gets to walk up to everybody. When he goes up to people that don't agree with him, they're like, no, I know who you are. You're the CNN guy. And it's all love. They shake his hand and they leave. You know why nobody does nothing? Because you're that side.
Right.
You're on that side that is the evil side. This is that negative. I don't even think that these people understand that their souls have been captured. I truly don't. But
they don't understand. That's the problem with hate. When you're full of hate, you think you're good. That's what it means when you're under strong delusion. When you're under strong delusion, you can't see that you're hateful. You think that you're doing a good thing. There's a scripture in the Bible where it says that a person will kill you and think they're doing God a favor. Do anybody have that Bible verse? Put it in the chat if you got that Bible verse. There's a scripture in the Bible where it talks about how a person may end up executing you and believe, I'm talking about really believe in their heart that they're doing God a favor by taking you out. That's how sick hatred can be.
like we said, Tom, AOC, every single person that has spit this vile from walls to everybody, notice how you could walk around, nobody bothers you, nobody assaults you, nobody shoots you. It's your side doing it to the other side.
Yeah.
And this is the type of stuff. This is like unbelievable. Unbelievable, Tom.
Yeah, you know, we took their blankie, as they say, right?
Yeah.
They are like, oh, we get to have free speech. We get to say what we want. We get to say about conservatives. And when there's any balance or there's any truth that comes out,
right,
all of a sudden it's, oh my gosh, how dare you?
Yeah, how dare you?
And that's what I don't like. Don Lemon get to say what he want to say as a man who is gay. He get to say what he want. But if Charlie Kirk said something in regards to the LGBTQ community, oh, he's gay bashing, he's racist, he's a hater, he needs to be canceled, he's such a horrible person. That's how he gets treated. But Don, he gets a pass. He could do whatever he wants.
And then the bullets start flying.
Well, it just proves my point that I always say that the most watered down, least
okay,
powerful
so
word
it's all right. Let me get it on the screen. That's John 16:2. Okay. And shout out to Polar Bear. I had seen your original comment. I had seen it. I had seen the original comment, but I appreciate the super chat. Let me get that on the screen for you guys. Again, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, be sure to double tap the screen. Let's get the likes to 3,000, guys. Let's get the likes to 3,000. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing today, guys. This is the best reactionary channel on YouTube. It is definitely an experience you don't want to miss, guys. And make sure you click that notification bell so you can be notified when I go live. Right? So let me get this scripture on the screen. Let me see. Let me get the context first. So you got to go to verse 1 to verse 3, because I want to show you. This could be a situation with Charlie Kirk. Right here. Watch this, guys. What I'm going to show you may, in fact, be what happened to Charlie Kirk right in the Bible. Let me get this on the screen for you. And later on, we're going to review Candace Owens' video. She put out, I think, like 2 videos. I can't do both. I might do both. You never know. Depends on how I feel. But we're going to talk about those videos too. Right? So now let me put this on the screen, guys. All right, check this out. This is right from the Bible. And we're going to read this to find out what's going on. John chapter 16, verse 1 through 3. These things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God service. And these things will they do unto you, because they have not known the Father nor me. So what that scripture is saying is there's going to be people out there that are going to get assassinated, murdered, and killed by people who will be believing in their heart that they are doing God's service by killing you and getting you out of the way. And that is what happened to Charlie Kirk. The man who assassinated Charlie Kirk believed in his heart that he was doing God service by getting rid of him. That's how much hate he had. That's how much hate was in his heart. When people kill other people, they think they're doing a good deed, but they're working for the devil and don't even know it. That's how sick the world is. It's full of hate.
You know, Charlie Kirk is racist. Okay, buddy. Isn't his best friend Officer Tatum? Isn't that? And then he just didn't he help catapult Candace Owens to stardom? Didn't he help basically start Blexit? Wasn't that part of Turning Point USA?
Right. So if he was racist, why would he elevate Candace Owens? Yes, Candace Owens is married to a white guy, but she's still a black woman. So if he was racist, why would he want to elevate a black woman? Candace Owens even gave Charlie his flowers, basically telling the world, yeah, he took me under his wings. He showed me this. He showed me that. Why would a white supremacist do that for a black woman?
Wasn't he somebody that would talk to literally anybody and encourage free speech? You know, people have had enough. They've awoken a sleeping giant, and we've seen it in the UK this week with Tommy Robinson's event. We've seen the vigils and the memorials all around the world, in the UK, in Australia, and France, and Germany, and Israel, and Italy, and Hungary, and Spain, all paying respect to Charlie Kirk. Do you want to factor that in? Why did 90+% of NFL teams take a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk? The 5 that didn't, you have some explaining to do.
And you know, so crazy. I saw a video where somebody was bashing the sports industry for even having a moment of silence. I mean, didn't y'all give a moment of silence to Kobe Bryant? Everybody gave him a moment of silence when him and his daughter perished in the helicopter accident. So why would people hate the fact that they gave Charlie a moment of silence? He was not just this regular guy. Not saying that if you're a regular guy, something's wrong. What we're talking about is the work, the popularity, the things that he do, the lives that he affected around the world. It was great. It's a lot of stuff that this man done. A lot of people he affected. And as soon as he perished, everybody want to call him a racist. I mean, they were calling him a white supremacist and a racist while he was alive. I've seen video clips where a person walked right up to him and said, "You're a white supremacist." And he was like, "Well, what exactly did I say? What did I do?" And the person couldn't even point out any sources of what did he do. He was like, "Well, how did you find this out?" The guy was just stuck. And that's where a lot of people are today. They watch these little 3-second clips or a quote. You stop doing that. Find the source article, find the source video, listen to the whole thing in its context for yourself. Then come to a conclusion. Charlie Kirk was not a racist. He was not a white supremacist. He was mixed mingling in a lot of different things. Candace Owens put out some new information, guys, that is very, very crazy. Like I said, we got to talk about a lot of things. Somebody must have been offended with Charlie, man. Somebody was offended, you know? And this is why I stay in my lane. I do what I do. And I don't get mixed mingle into all that, like deep into all these different things, because you're treading in different territories that you really don't want to get in. And I believe that this issue with Charlie being assassinated is not just because of some guy that didn't like what he had to say. And there's word coming out that the dude that killed Charlie, allegedly, based on what I'm hearing, may be into the alternative lifestyle or have a boyfriend or something along those lines, allegedly. So it's no wonder that he did what he did. But I don't believe that he was by himself. I believe that it's more than one entity involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It's not just that one guy. It's not just that one guy. One shot, that's it. One bullet, nobody else killed? Nah. There's more to this, guys.
So in America today, there's one flag that reigns.
No, I'm only saying alleged because I haven't reviewed the video yet. That's why I'm saying alleged, so that I'm protected. This is social media. I got to make sure I follow proper protocol. I only heard. I didn't go and look at the actual information yet. Meaning I only heard about it. I didn't look at the info to where as I know it's confirmed. So I got to do what I got to do to protect the platform.
Supreme. It's the American flag. It's not your BLM flag. It's not your Palestine flag. It's not your LGBT woke trans flag. All these people on the left, the Don Lemon crew, they're raising every single flag other than the American flag. Charlie stood for one flag, and that was the American flag, and they hate him for it. Yeah, and they're disgusting.
And here's the thing. If you hate America, you need to go. If you hate America, please leave, please. If you hate America, you got to go. I'm tired of this. Look, Trump, if anybody's connected to Trump, there needs to be an executive order to get rid of people, get people out of America that are anti-American. I think that will solve the majority of the problems. Like literally, if you're anti-America, you got to go. We got to get you out. Because our military is supposed to fight against foreign and domestic. And we have a lot of people that are here in America that are anti-American. And they get to benefit from America. They get to get a nice little job. They get to, all the benefits of America. But they hate America. That don't make no sense. If you don't like America, leave. Go to a third world country and see how you like it there. I bet you're going to wish you were in America again. You're going to wish you was.
You know, to be fair, cancel culture can happen on both sides. Like for us, if you think about what I'm saying right now, when you go back and look at the Federalist paper that was written by, I think 60% is written by Hamilton, if I'm not mistaken, on the Federalist paper. And one of the things he talked about, he says the one thing that they realized where they went from a monarchy, Tom, correct me on any of the stuff that I'm saying here. After they went from a monarchy where a guy is saying, I need you to do this, I need you to pay for everything, monarchy, right? So you have the imperialism monarchy to then a democracy, which is what? Well, let's see what everybody wants to do. Okay, no, we need you to pay for it, Rob, because you're the rich guy. So democracy, the individual wasn't protected. And then you go to the republic, it's like, wait a minute, guys, hey, I want to work harder. Can I be protected? And the leak that they found in democracies was man's ambition and what happens when they get power.
Let me get this straight. At Don Dada, you said anyone, let's read your comment. You said anyone that says Dr. Martin Luther King was a bad person is not a good person. I guess you're implying that to Charlie Kirk, or you may be implying that to me. My question is this: were you alive when Martin Luther King was here to know him personally? To know him personally in terms of everything about him? Or do you just know him based off of education, that he did this and he did that, and you just consider he's a good person? Because he was not no leader of mine. He may be a leader to you. He's not a leader of mine. Black people have never had a leader. Right? Black people have never had a leader. Black people have only had people that keep them under subjection so that we don't retaliate or become violent. If you understand anything about all these so-called black leaders, Martin Luther King, the Al Sharptons, the Jesse Jacksons, all of them are puppets. All of them. How are you going to put a man, one man, and you're going to tell me he's the leader of the black community? As a man, you're supposed to be a leader of your own life. Where you live right now as a black man, you're supposed to be leading your family. You're supposed to be providing, regulating your community, getting drugs out of the community, not waiting for somebody else to do it. Not waiting for the white man to do it. Not waiting for the National Guard to come down to DC, Chicago, wherever. You're supposed to do that as a man. You're a leader in your own world. If you're waiting for another man to lead you, you're not a man. How that look? Another man is leading you. He's telling you how to. Are you out of your mind? Nah, I don't got time for that.
More and more they studied history and they give the examples in the Federalist paper is the fact that you keep seeing examples in the Federalist paper is the fact that you keep seeing examples of people not knowing how to manage power. The moment they get it, they want to control.
Yep.
And this isn't a left thing. Just so you let you know, this is a left, right, center thing. If a man, this is why Marcus Aurelius was loved as much as he was, because he was a great leader. If you've never read the book Meditations, do yourself a favor and just go to Amazon and buy the book Meditations.
At Skate Nate, are you in America? Let's have the conversation right now. Skate Nate, are you in America? Seem like you want some smoke. Are you in America? Are you in America? Because if you are, you should leave. You should leave. If you're in America, you should leave. Because you're anti-American. So you got to go. Why are you here? You hate Trump. You hate America. You hate truth. You're only here to benefit. So you're only here because you want to just make something for your own life. That's what you want. You don't really care about Americans. You don't care about nothing. You don't care about anybody but yourself. You're just an anti-American guy. I ain't gonna waste my time with you anymore. See, this is why Trump got to do more to get rid of these kind of people from America. Get them out of the country. Get them out. Because these are the type of people that become terrorists, killers, men that assassinate other people. It'd be these kind of people, guys, that sit around watching you on social media and they get all this anger built up. And they start to follow you. They follow everything you do. And they become a hater. And now they don't like you. You never did nothing to them. They just look for something to be angry about.
And there's one of the ones that I like, the version that I like the most, Rob. If you can go there, I'll give it to you right now. Go to Amazon and Meditations, and I'll tell you which one to pick up. Because there's a bunch of them. The best one is Gary. Can you go to it? I'll tell you which one it is. What's the name on that one? The first guy that wrote it. Right, the Gregory Hayes. That's the best one. So buy the one from Gregory Hayes Meditations. That's the best translation out of all of them. There's good ones, but that's the best one in my opinion. You have to know that's what happens. This is why a man of character.
He over there selling books.
You laugh at it. You ever seen the clip?
I'm not laughing. I'm telling the truth.
Of Dwayne Wade sitting in Sports Center telling the guy to make the highlight better as if he jumps higher? Yeah. I don't know if you remember that commercial from 15 years ago. Dwayne said, no, make me seem like bigger. Make me seem like I jumped higher. Don Lemon just puts the clips up and it makes him look horrible. Yeah. And he still does it. You got to respect him for it.
He shows his losses. Not his wins and his losses.
Listen, guys,
just has
who just lost?
They're pretty much talking about another topic. But I'm focusing on the fact that Don Lemon is now bashing the death and mocking the death of Charlie Kirk. And he's recruiting black people in the streets. I don't know exactly where he at, but it seemed like he's in New York. I believe Don Lemon lives in New York, if I'm correct. Because based on the people that he stopped, they clearly sound like they're in Brooklyn.
About embarrassing. So imagine if you're in the streets, going and talking to people, hoping they say bad things about Charlie Kirk and Trump, and then this is what happens. Go ahead, Rob.
Kirk.
It's just messed up, totally messed up. You know, that was messed up. Like, nobody deserved that. He definitely didn't deserve that. He was a good guy.
You think he was a good guy?
I think he was.
Scumbag.
Only Kirk
Good morals.
Captain Kirk.
The what?
The only Kirk you recognize is Captain Kirk. I don't know Charlie Kirk. I don't know who that is.
You don't know who it is?
I don't know who that is.
I know who it was.
That joke fell flat.
I
only know about him when
all of us have flaws. I can't really tell you what to believe in or how to feel. Like, everybody's having a human experience. Like, why knock him for having this human experience or what he believe in?
How you gonna say? Let me respond to this person. Somebody said, telling someone who's upset with Americans' current state to leave is unpatriotic in the basest form. First of all, I don't know any of you, right? You're in a live chat. I don't know what your hatred is or what you don't like about America. Why don't you fix it? What did Michael Jackson say? Look at the man in the mirror. See, your problem is not, well, I don't like the current state of America. No, you're the fucking problem. You're the problem. Look at the man in the mirror. Start with there. You're the problem. You're worried about America this and America that, and I don't like the state of America. No, the problem is you. Start with you. See, that's the problem. Everybody's pointing at somebody else, and they don't want to look at themselves. You're the fucking problem. You're the problem. The same way you got into this comment section to talk about what is unpatriotic, what you did is unpatriotic. You're the problem. The problem with you is you don't like my opinion. You don't think I deserve or have the right to speak. Did your father serve in military? Mine did. My father is an Army vet. He served this country. Did yours follow? Did your father serve this country? Because if he did, I don't understand what your issue is. See? Talking about, oh, well, you know, a person who's just don't like the state of America. Well, fix it. If every one of us begin to fix ourselves, we fix America. I said, if every one of us begin to fix ourselves, we fixed America. You waiting for somebody else to fix it. You know? It's always a hater somewhere, guys. Let's get back to the content.
Even though even though he says things that are anti-women, black.
Look at this.
I
Liar.
can't judge him for that.
You can't.
I can't judge him for
Look
that.
at-
But I
come
can
on.
use judgment. He didn't deserve that.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a human being.
Yeah, he's
you
a
are
human
very
being.
spiritual.
You know, yeah.
And you're not.
You
I can't
sound
go
like,
left.
Yeah, and you're
I can't
not.
go left with that.
No, you sound like, you mean left, going
Yeah,
left,
like,
not left.
because I'm
right.
humanity. I'm humanity and love first. you
No, I
know?
love that. So the first person I spoke to here didn't want to be on camera, and he said, I can't judge him because I'm not God. And so let him, let
Isn't that a little
whatever
bit
the
too much
reaction is, if the
touching? Oh,
government
he's a
wants to give
very
him a
touchy
state
guy.
license.
Stop that, Rob. Can you go
Wasn't
to
he
the
the
next?
weatherman on CNN or something? I don't recognize him. I
Can
don't
you
remember this
go
guy.
to the other clip that the pastor?
See, this is the problem with black people. I'm looking at this comment here, and we got to address this, right? We're going to put you on the big screen because people need to see your comment. And this right here is the issue that I got with the black community, right? We got to look at your comment. Shout out to Evelyn for the $1 support. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. Appreciate you. If you can, guys, be so kind to double tap the screen, give it a thumbs up, right? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Look, guys, without you folks showing up to the streams, I don't have no show. I don't have no platform. So I am humble that you guys even choose Ringo TV to view out of all the channels you can possibly view. So consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the show. Let me respond to this particular comment here. I want to respond to this. Not trying to bash. We're not here to put you down, sir. I just want to talk about this issue, right? So now, James White Jr. says, no one has the right to say anything about black people but black people. Everyone talks about our people like their people don't have problems of their own race. That's a problem, sir. The reason why people got to talk about black people is because black people are not regulating their own communities. Black people allow drugs, crimes, gangs, and all sorts of other things to go unchecked. And it's affecting everyone's lives. It's affecting businesses. It's affecting the culture of the communities. It's affecting other cultures. And people are afraid to come outside. People are afraid to shop in certain locations because black people are committing crimes and doing certain things. It's not that no one else commit crimes. Of course, white people commit crimes. Of course, white people have their own issues and problems. I'm in the South. I see white men arguing with other white men, pulling guns on white men. I seen some rednecks in the South in one of them pickup trucks pull out guns on another white man who gave them, I don't know what, he was brake checking them, doing some stupidness. And the white guy got out the car screaming and he hit the car. And the rednecks came out the car with guns. One had a shotgun, and the other one had a handgun, the other one had a rifle. And the white guy went back in his car, and there was a lot of cussing, a lot of screaming, and I saw that. And to be honest, coming from New York, coming from the hood, you see a lot of black on black crime. I never seen white men go at it one-on-one. Like, I never seen that coming up in New York. So when I saw that, I was exposed to the fact that white people got their own issues. They got their own drama. So it's not about white people are perfect, black people are not. The issue is anybody could talk about anybody's issues. You getting offended because somebody's talking about black issues is crazy. If it don't apply to you, what you upset for? I talk about black people issues, they upset with me. All of my enemies are black. The black community don't like me. There's some people that are black that don't like me if I have this hat on. They're upset. They're mad. And they're black. So even if I'm talking about black issues, the black community is still not going to like me. That's why I disagree with this comment. This is a problem. To say no one has the right to say anything about black people but black people is wrong. Because you cannot walk into a court and you have some sort of issue with driving, some issue you got to take care of, you can't tell the judge who's white, oh, you can't judge me. Only a black judge can judge me. He gonna judge you and throw the book at you. Anybody could talk about anybody's issues. As long as you're respectful and you're doing what you got to do, it's all good. But the truth will always offend you. The truth always offend people, no matter what. No matter how much you speak the truth, people are going to get upset. I've seen Charlie Kirk's debates. This man would eloquently speak about different issues and people still upset. I'm like, damn, the man never said nothing that would warrant the response he got. People still upset. You know? I could talk about white people issues in the community. I prefer not to always talk about it because I feel that a white man should be able to stand up for his people and speak on issues. But if I'm in a predominantly white community and I'm noticing that the lifestyles of white people, crime, whatever it is they're doing is affecting my life and my peace and my family, I'm talking about those issues. You understand? Even in the community that I'm in right now, I had some issues, some run-ins with some white folk, and I could have put that on social media and air everybody out, but I didn't do that. You know what I mean? I didn't do that. I keep it at bay. My point is, we should all be able to talk about all issues, no matter what your race is. If it's affecting our lives, you got to talk about it. But to say no one has the right to say anything about black people, but black people is crazy. Everyone talks about our people like their people don't have problems of their own race. Every race has their own problems. You're listening too much to people talking about black people. You need to listen to the other conversations. There are many conversations going on. Everybody's not talking about black people. Look, if you're of the black community, let me make something clear to you. White people are not even thinking about you. Did you get the memo? If you are black, let me give you the word. White people are not even thinking about you. You have this mindset that everybody that's white is sitting in the house talking about you all day, calling you N-words and bashing you all day. They're not. They're not even thinking about you. They got their own family. They got their own issues. You understand? Just like you got your own issues, they got their own issues. They don't got time to talk about you. You know what I mean? The only time white folk is going to talk about you is if you're doing something to them, or if you cross the line. Y'all know how it is. You cross that line, they're going to have something to say. You have arguments with your neighbor, he's white, it's going to be some drama in the community, whatever the case is. But for the most part, white people are not even thinking about you. They're not. They're not even talking about you. You're listening to social media too much. Social media will make you think everybody hate you. Social media. Now, in the community where I'm at, it's like nobody talks to each other. Nobody really talks to each other. White, black, nobody talks to each other. Every now and then, you might have a neighbor that might say, hello, how you doing? Just the other day, I was in the yard and the white neighbor next door was like, wow, your grass is getting very green. It's coming in very nice. I see you doing a lot of work, you know? And I was like, yeah, you know, just a quick little conversation. I don't know them, but we had a little conversation. That's good. But we live in a world today where everybody's scared to talk to people now. Because we watch social media so much, we look at everybody like, so if you're black, you think everybody that's white is a racist. And if you're white, you think everybody that's black is an N-word. Or you look at everybody that's Mexican and you think they're this. Or you think everybody that's Asian is this. And it's all because of what you see on social media. Social media got everybody afraid of one another. And we're all judgmental. Anybody could talk about your race. There's things about the white race that I like. And then there's things that I don't like. You know, when I was coming up in high school, junior high, I used to think that anybody that's white played the guitar. I don't know, maybe it's true. I mean, if you're white and you're viewing the stream, do you play the guitar? I don't know, because I think it's cool that a lot of white guys play guitar, and they play guitar very good. You know, the electric guitar, the bass guitar, acoustic guitar, they play pretty good. And it's just, yeah, people said no. Somebody said I do. So we got some that do and some that don't. Some play the bass. I'm a musician myself. So in school, I always hanged around the white guys that played instruments. I always consider them the cool guys. You know what I mean? If you knew how to play basketball and you're white, you're cool. If you knew how to play an instrument, you're cool. If you're Asian and you know how to draw, you're cool. That's the way I saw it. You know what I mean? If you white and you don't know how to play basketball, you couldn't hang around the black guys. I'm telling you the truth. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy, because when I was coming up, I went to an all-white junior high and all-white high school in Bensonhurst in Brooklyn. And I can remember some of my white friends, they invited me over their house. I'm coming from the ghetto, from the hood, and I went to their house. This is my first time going into a predominantly white community in a very big house. I walk in there, I'm like, I'm in the bathroom looking around like this. The bathroom was bigger than my entire apartment. The Italian dude was like, hey, my mom is a racist. And my dad, he don't like black people. I'm like, I need to get out of this damn house. He's like, no, they're not coming home yet. We good. So we would be in the house, and he was like, yo, man, if my dad ever come here and find you in here, fam, it's gonna be a problem. I was like, your dad really don't like black people? He said he hate black people. But we were cool. But I was like, I don't want to see his parents. I was like, yo, I gotta go, bro. It's like, you don't gotta go, man. Hey, so it's okay. Hey, come on. It's all right. You can stay at the house. It's perfectly all fine. It's okay. I said, nah, man, I'm never coming back by your house again, dog. So I grew up around a time where, yeah, you had racist parents, but all the kids that I went to school with that was white, you know, they were cool. Now, I had some white guys that pretty much test me. I had this one Italian guy. As soon as I got into school as a freshman, he was like, oh, look at this guy here. He's an N-word. He called me an N-word to my face. All I remember is him getting this and all his front teeth. Them things came out, fam. I pulled them teeth out. I was his dentist for the day. Cause it was racism back then, fam, especially in Bensonhurst, you know. But you didn't want to mess around with them Italians. They'll chase you with a baseball bat. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah. So I had my share of you know, my experiences, but I grew to acceptance and understanding that hate can come from both sides. It's not just from white people, but I experienced hate from black people. I experienced deep hatred from my own people. And it taught me about life. You know? I even had some hate from the Asian community. Y'all remember back in the days when you could go to the Chinese restaurant and you could get 4 chicken wings, fried rice, French fries for like $2.50. Y'all remember that? Back in the 90s. I remember I went into the Asian store. I was like, yo, let me get 4 chicken wings. Yo. Yeah, let me get 4 chicken wings, some French fries, and some fried rice. Oh, you want 4 chicken wings, 5 why? Yeah. 4 chicken wings. Make sure they well done though, man. All right, 4 chicken wings, 555. Why? That be $2.50 plate. You said $2.50? $2.50. You pay now, go now. Order French fry, 4 chicken wings, 555. Why? Yo, I only got $2.49. No, you pay me now. $2.50 now. You pay me now, go now, pa. You pay now. For 1 penny, he wouldn't let me get my food, bro. I'm like, dog, you bugging, bro. The Asian man would not give me my chicken wings and fried rice and fries because I didn't have a penny. He literally told me, you go now, pay, I call police. 4 chicken wings, 555, why? I'm like, damn, bro, he wildin', bro. It's crazy, right? All I'm saying, man, is you just got to respect everybody's culture, respect everybody, and you'll be cool. All the Asian kids in school was always good with math. The Bangladesh people was good with math. You know, every group had their gift and their talent. You got to learn how to appreciate everybody for their gifts and their talents. Every culture brings something to the table. Do we have anybody in the building that is familiar with a musician, composer named Yanni? Do we have anybody who's familiar with that composer? Yanni. Shout out to TKTV Paranormal. Anybody heard of him? He's a brilliant musician, composer. And I've been following all his work. I got all his CDs, I got all his music, everything. And one thing that I really like about the guy is that he visit all different types of countries, played all different types of music, and he engaged with the people. And it's like his music, his words, it all promotes love and acceptance of all cultures and how you can learn from different cultures, not being afraid of one another, but learning from one another. You know, you might see how this person dressed in this country and you might think it's weird. It's not weird. When you go to their country, learn how to embrace how they dress. Don't come there wearing what you wear. Look at the locals, look at what they wear, and, you know, respect the people. Respect their culture. Brush up a little bit on their language. You don't have to know everything, but just get the basics. Put on their attire. You know, let your woman cover up. Do certain things to fit in with the culture. Visit their places and, you know, ask questions. Like, for me, there's a lot of different countries I would love to visit. You know, a lot of different countries because of their instruments. Because as a musician, I play different instruments, and a lot of woodwind instruments, you know, the Duke, Armenian instruments, the Chinese flute. There's different types of instruments in different parts of the world that if you were to visit and go, you experience different things that will blow your mind. Sometimes you get so connected to where you are, you alienate everybody else. When Charlie Kirk debated people, he looked at everybody based on where they are, and he focused on the issues dealing with Americans, dealing with this group, dealing with that group, and maybe everything he said didn't come off the way you wanted it to be, but was he speaking the truth? Was he telling the truth? Can you admit it? Or will you be in denial? That's what you got to look at. Was he telling you the truth? We're not saying Charlie Kirk was the savior or comparing him to Jesus Christ. He was assassinated, for crying out loud, in front of his wife and his kids. Nobody deserved that. He didn't deserve that. He was only 31, man. He was only 31. You know what I'm saying? It's a young dude, bruh. I'm 48, just in case you don't know. I'm 48 years young. That man was 31. He had a lot of life to live. He didn't deserve that. He should have been able to see his kids grow up. And somebody took that away from him. And I don't believe it was just that one guy that took him out. There was something else, man. Something else. This man had somebody was very upset with him. Because the way they did him, they wanted everybody to see him get publicly executed. They wanted that to happen that way. Shout out to Excedrin for the support. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. Says late for the live. We'll watch the replay for sure. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. And my apologies to anybody else if you gave a super chat and I didn't catch it. You know, this live chat is just going crazy, right? But appreciate everybody coming through, right? So, hey, we all have a right to talk about each other, guys. It's not about white or black getting mad. I'm pretty sure the white community is not going to get upset if I have an opinion about them. As long as I'm speaking respectfully, as long as I'm not making up a lie, they're not going to have no issue. You get what I'm saying? If you got a predator, a child molester, and he's black or white, and he's in a white community, everybody going to have something to say. Because parents ain't going to want their kids to be outside knowing there's some damn predator in the community. Nobody want the predator to be there. Now, I understand maybe somebody may have did something in their past. They don't do it no more. Maybe it was a false allegation, whatever the case is. But the community going to want to know who you are. Because we got kids. I don't want my kids outside knowing that they got predators in the community. Because we're going to keep our eye on everybody. You know? So let's get back to the content. We're going to wrap it up in a few, guys.
Retweeted. So here's a pastor that Don Lemon retweeted this pastor. I don't know who this pastor is, by the way. What's his name? Pastor Howard John Wesley, defaming Charlie Kirk.
In church. Everybody need to leave that church. If you are a member of Howard Wesley's church, you need to leave that church. That's a very hateful man. Listen, watch this.
Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be assassinated. But I'm overwhelmed seeing the flags of the United States of America at half-staff.
They were for 9/11.
They were for 9/11. Listen, Charlie's assassination took over America to the point that pretty much everybody was focused on Charlie. Literally, it was that. Listen, I was streaming live. Y'all remember, I was streaming live. Those of you that are subscribed to the platform, I was streaming live. Somebody was in the chat, and they was like, yo, they assassinated Charlie Kirk. And I'm seeing it going down my timeline. I'm like, oh, snap, that's breaking news. But I continue with my stream, and then I started to talk about the issue. But it took over. That's what it meant, but the flag was half-staff. It was because of 9/11. And remember in that stream, I told you, 9/11 is also the day my mom passed away due to cancer. So that whole day was a serious day for me. And I didn't even want to bring it up. But I brought it up because we was talking about, I think we was talking about Kurt, right? I think we was talking about Kurt. I think I went live. I was talking about Kurt. And then I let you guys know this is also the anniversary of my mom passing. It's on 9/11 when she passed away due to cancer.
Calling this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic
Hold on.
racist.
Internet bugging out. Hold on.
Flags of the United States of America. Flags of the United States of America.
Him because I'm not God.
Go to the other clip that the pastor he retweeted. So here's a pastor that Don Lemon retweeted this pastor. I don't know who this pastor is, by the way. What's his name? Pastor Howard John Wesley.
I don't know what's going on. This internet thing is bugging out. I think it's the computer. I don't think it's the internet. Got to be the computer. I'm going to upgrade my computer, guys. Don't worry about it.
Go to the other clip that the pastor he retweeted. So here's a pastor that Don Lemon retweeted this pastor. I don't know who this pastor is, by the way. What's his name? Pastor Howard John Wesley, defaming Charlie Kirk.
In church.
Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be assassinated. But I'm overwhelmed seeing the flags of the United States of America at half-staff.
They were for 9/11,
calling
dummy.
this nation to honor
He's jealous.
and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist.
That's a lie.
And spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land.
This is in church, mind you.
It's disgusting.
Look at the applause.
The people are celebrating.
And hearing people with selective rage who were mad about Charlie Kirk but didn't give a damn about Melissa Hortman and her husband when they were shot down in their home.
Nobody knows who those people are, buddy.
Tell me I ought to have compassion for the death of a man who had no respect for my own life.
You can pause it.
That question, do you think God is happy that you're doing this, or the devil is happy that you're in church and having an applause break for people that are basically like, well, it is what, like, let's not sugarcoat it. They're clapping and they're like, yeah, he's right. Who cares that he's dead? And by the way,
And it's disgusting because, like I said, Charlie was a Christian and he talked about his Christian values a lot. He did. He was a Christian. Now, see, here's the thing, guys. For me personally, Ringo TV, I was once in the Christian church. I was once in the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. And I left both of those. Both of them. I'm still a believer in Jesus Christ. I still follow the Bible. At the same time, I'm different. I'm not here to, I guess, make everybody believe in God the way I do. In other words, if I believe this, I'm going to bash you because you don't do it my way. You get what I mean? I look at it like this. If Charlie was a Christian, regardless of how he practiced his Christianity, that's between him and God. I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm going to do what works for me. What works for me is for me. As long as we believe in the same God, as long as we have the same Savior, that's all that matters. Because there's so much hate and division, and a lot of it is coming from religion. Religion is what separates and divides us all. Religion. You believe this, I believe this. Well, I don't agree with you. Well, I thought we supposed to be repenting of our sins. Could we agree on that? Because if we're all hateful down here, ain't nobody going to heaven. You get it? So it's like, I just grew to the point where it's like, look, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I follow the Bible to the best of my abilities. I try to show people love. I try to be respectful of all nationalities and creeds and backgrounds. I don't look down on people, even if you're poor, broke. I don't look down on nobody. I consider everybody as how I am. I treat people how I want to be treated. There's some times when it's difficult to do. There's some times when people are very disgusting and they're very mean. And maybe I may not do the right thing at that moment. You know what I mean? And then I regret it and I have to correct myself. But my point is, Charlie didn't deserve to be bashed by churches now. I can understand people that might have an opinion about him due to his debates, but the last group I would consider to be doing this is a church, not the church. And like I said, if you're a white guy and you were a racist once and you walked into that black church and you saw him saying those things, how would you feel as a white man who struggled with being raised in a racist home and you decided to change your life? And you walked into a church hearing a black pastor bash Charlie's death, accusing him of being a racist, a white supremacist, and all this other mess. it would disgust you. And you'll be like, you know what? Let me go back to my ways. Let me go back to being a racist. I think it was better. Because the black church don't even like me. They hate me. And the way they looking at that white guy, Charlie Kirk, that mean they don't believe I could get forgiveness through Jesus Christ. So it'll push a person away. Think about how many souls the church have pushed away. Think about how many people wanted to come to God, and then they heard some believer judging them, putting them down, making them feel bad about themselves. That's why I really don't even make no content about the LGBTQ community. I don't even make no content about it. I don't support the lifestyle. So if you are of that community, I don't support your lifestyle. I don't. What I do support is your right to just live your life. But I'm not going to bash you. I already know what the scripture says. I know what the Bible says. But I'm not going to sit here and bash you and act as if though what you're doing is more or worse than somebody committing adultery. See, that's the problem that I got is like believers will be liars, thieves, adulterers, fornicators, but then they'll judge the gay guy and bash him worse. Make him feel like he's horrible while they're in church committing adultery. The pastor's in adultery, fornication, and he's stealing from the poor, but he'll bash the gay community. Do you see that? The pastor sleeping with another man's wife, committing adultery, fornication, stealing from congregants, not paying, people back that he borrowed money, slandering people, while bashing the gay community. He's a hypocrite. I don't like people that do that. If you're going to judge one, judge all the same. That's why I don't talk about the gay community in terms of making content. It's not going to go nowhere. It's not reaching nobody. All you're doing is bashing. It's not doing nothing for nobody. Where in the Bible, watch this. Where in the Bible did Jesus Christ said, go out there and preach to the gay community and keep bashing them about what they're doing all day? When did he tell you to do that? When did he tell you to preach to those that are committing adultery and bash them all day? Let me make 1,000 videos about people committing adultery. It don't make no sense. The better way is to talk about sin in general. Just preach Jesus Christ, the forgiveness of sins. Preach that. Because people know right from wrong. And I think that if you do that and you don't bash nobody, put everybody down, people will listen to your message. Because in private, people have their little one-on-one conversations with God. And it doesn't mean that I'm not bold or I'm scared. I'm scared of backlash. No. It's about how you reach people. Some people just don't know how to reach people. Some people just don't know how to communicate. They just get people upset. And you're not going to win souls that way. We're not talking about preaching a feel-good message. We're talking about giving people the raw, unadulterated truth. At the same time, do it in a way where they will receive your message without the judgmental ridicule and the vileness of the message where it's like you're just condemning. That's not going to save nobody. If somebody's on drugs, you just can't tell them, oh, you a crackhead. You ain't nobody. Man, you need to get off drugs and stop smoking crack. That's not going to help nobody. My mother was on crack cocaine when I was a young kid. She was on drugs during the crack epidemic in Brooklyn, New York. Everybody, parents back then was on drugs. She eventually got free. She got cleaned up, found Jesus Christ, went to church, cleaned up her life. So there's things that I know about people that struggle with drugs and stuff like that. You can't bash them. You can't put them down, calling people crackheads and all that stuff. That's not cool. Those people didn't want to be on drugs. It was a drug back then that people got hooked on. No different than the drugs that are out today. People went to parties, they had a drug, they tried it, they were hooked. Simple as that. You know, the 80s and 90s were crazy. You know? So you got to meet people where they are. I don't know that much about Charlie's ministry, but I did hear some of his videos in regards to him sharing his faith. And there's more that I'll learn. But my point is, everybody is finding God on their own. Nobody's perfect. Nobody got it all together. Nobody got the perfect. Nobody got it perfect. We're all in search of answers. All I'm saying is do the best you can. Treat people with respect, and everything's going to be good. I think if everybody did that, the world would be a better place. You know? Definitely be a better place. Shout out to Joy Boy for the 10. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. And Vernica, I believe the name is. Did I pronounce the name right? Shout out to you too. I was about to say Veronica, but it says Vernica. I believe I pronounced it right. Let me see. Joy Boy says POV UK. RIP Charlie Kirk, USA. Rotten from the top though. Not for its people. You have too many plights. Its own people. It's sad to see USA split to the core. Live and let live, man. You can still all be friends. I mean, you know, everybody just got to do their part, man. With all that's going on in the world, it's just going to be a constant blame game. You know, everybody got their own issues. If everybody focus on themselves and improve themselves, everything get better. Rather than pointing the finger at one person or one group, everybody got to look and lift their eyes up and their hands to God, bruh, and seek him. That's the reason why we got all these problems. It's because people are not serving God. All the problems going on in the world is because we're not following God. That's why we got problems. Period. It's too much evil in the world. Everybody believe they're good, but a lot of us have evil hearts. That's the issue. Let me read Vernica's comment. Says, hey, Ringo, just stopping by. And your logic is on a whole other level. 100% realness. You have my support and backing. Hey, I appreciate your support. Shout out to you again for sponsoring the show. Appreciate you sponsoring the work. Hey guys, if you can be so kind, if you haven't already, double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. We're gonna pretty much close out the stream, guys. We've been on now for going on 2 hours, literally. We've been on for an hour and 54 minutes. We're gonna pretty much close out the stream. Don Lemon, you know, you should be ashamed of yourself, sir, for going out in public trying to recruit people to hate Charlie after he's dead. You didn't do that before. You did it now that he's dead. That's wrong. And you're a gay man. If somebody went out in public and bashed you because of your sexuality, you would try to get them fired from their job. With your clout, with your reach, you can pull some strings and get somebody fired from their job. So why would you do that to Charlie now that he's dead? Okay, Charlie said some things. You didn't agree with it. This is why I don't even talk about your community. I just don't. Because sharing the truth will never be received. And I refuse to waste my time doing that. I just let you be. Let you live your life, live in peace, do what you do. It's on you. I'm not going to pass no judgment. None. You'll see for yourself. Some of us, we like to teach, we like to share the truth. It's going to fall on deaf ears. I'm just being honest with you. Some people just got to know on their own. They got to have that one-on-one encounter with God. You could plant seeds though, but bashing people is not going to help them. Never bash a person who is living the alternative lifestyle. Never do that. It's not going to help nobody. If you're a believer, a Bible believer, do not bash a person living the alternative lifestyle. Never do that. That's not going to help them. You're never helping them doing that. The only thing you can do is preach the gospel, preach the truth, treat them with respect, and just leave them be. That's all. No judgment, no condemning, none of that stuff. Don't do none of that stuff. Work with them. Like I said, I had a buddy that was at the job. He was cool with all of us. Gay dude. And we never judged this guy. Never. I never preached nothing to him. He knew I believe in the Bible. I never said nothing to this kid, bruh. Never. We just treated him with respect, and that was it. He got to learn and live his own life. People got to learn and live their own life, guys. They really do. Certain things you have no control over. Some of y'all be going out of your way trying to convince somebody, and you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You just got to respect people, let them live their life. Because here's the thing. While you trying to condemn that gay guy or that lesbian woman, what about your sin of masturbation in private? What about your sin of watching pornography? What about you committing fornication? What about you committing adultery? What about you embezzling money? What about you lying? What about you coveting? What about you? What about you? See, nobody can see what you do. Now, of course, if somebody's living the alternative, you can see what they're doing. But we got to stop judging in hypocrisy. We got to really stop judging in hypocrisy. It's not going to, we're in a different day now, guys. We're in the cancel culture day. We're in a whole new time. There's certain things you just can't do anymore. So you got to be respectful of everybody. I'm not saying I'm condoning these things. All I'm saying is you're not going to win nobody to Christ by bashing them. You're not going to win them. You're not. The best you could do is just leave it in God's hands. Just leave it in God's hands, man. Teach truth, but don't bash. You could teach the truth, but don't bash. A lot of times pastors love to do that. They like to make people feel guilty. People feel guilty. That's not how you win people, man. You don't win them like that. So guys, I'm going to get up on out of here. Shout out to Vaughn for the support, the $1.99. Had a supervisor named Vaughn. Shout out to OG Savage for the 5. Says, I always enjoy your streams. Keep spreading the truth, Ringo. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. Shout out to Tammy. Says, love you all. Appreciate you. Yeah. So guys, we're going to get up on out of here. Hey, look. I appreciate everybody stopping by. I am humbled by the support. Those of you that choose to watch the platform, those of you that choose to rock with the show. Without you guys, I can't do this. Without you guys, I have no platform. It's not about me, it's about the people. So I am grateful, I'm humble, and thankful that you choose Ringo TV Reactions. So from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. And it's been a wild week of me talking about the situation regarding Charlie. And I notice a lot of people are interested in these stories. And I try to give you guys good content, good commentary, good breakdowns. And I really enjoy talking. I really enjoy speaking to the people. It's a passion of mine. And I'm just humbled that people actually take the time to listen. Hopefully somebody out there learned something. Hopefully this stream did something for you in a positive way rather than in a negative way. Maybe you saw me before. Maybe you thought I was a negative person. Maybe you didn't understand my position on what I believe. And maybe now you got some clarifications. I believe in justice. I believe in peace. I believe in people respecting one another. I believe in family values. I believe in these things. I don't like criminals. I don't like hate. I don't like liars, deceivers. I don't like people that slander others, spread disinformation. And what's being done to Charlie, it's really bad. And we have a lot to learn from this. The same way he got assassinated, anybody could have got killed that day. That target could have been on anybody's back. A lot of you that were there ought to be thankful to God. You ought to be thankful that the gunman didn't open fire on everybody randomly. Because with all of those people, it didn't matter where he pointed that gun, somebody was getting shot. If he had that good of an aim to shoot Kurt in his neck, he could have got anybody. Anyone. He could have took out so many people and then unalive himself and made a statement. So Charlie's death was out of pure hate, pure evil. Somebody wanted to erase his name, his calling, and now they're trying to destroy his legacy. Don't let that happen. If you're a Charlie Kirk supporter, if you supported his work, if you believed in his work, even if you weren't a follower of his work, maybe you just now discovered his work. What you should be focused on as an American is that nobody deserved that. Nobody deserved to be assassinated for their opinions. You know, we should be able to voice our opinions in a respectful way. And even though it's respectful, sometimes the truth just hurts. Some people aren't ready. Sometimes the truth hurts so much, it needed to hurt in order for you to change your way. And sometimes Charlie's words may have hurt, but he wasn't lying. He just felt he was doing the right thing. But it's not worth dying for, you know? So we're going to get up on out of here. Peace and blessings to the mods. Forever Studios, Ezandra, Caramel Kimmy Kim, V Dubman, Brainwaves Advice Topic LLC. Appreciate all the members, everybody that joined the platform, everybody that subscribed to the channel. Y'all go out and have a blessed day, guys. Have a blessed day. Drive safe if you're on the road. Shout out to everybody on the 9-to-5 grind. Everybody on the hustle and bustle. Shout out to all my UPS workers, FedEx workers, United States Parcel Service, Amazon, Uber Eats, Lyft drivers, law enforcement, fire department, school teachers, everybody in retail, all the security guards, parking lot guys, the doormen, Sanitation workers, salute to y'all too. We need you guys. All the factory workers, everybody in the industrial industry, all the farmers, everybody in the salons, all the barbers, everybody. Everybody out in corporate. Y'all have a blessed day. Ringo TV reaction salute, you guys. I'm out of here. Y'all take care. We out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.